Right. So Stanford at that time in the late 80s, early 90s was this sort of hotbed. It was really this sort of murmur before like the storm of this day, before the kind of massive storm of DEI. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I think I should just point out I've grown far more conservative today over these years, and especially with how the country has transformed. Um, I think there's a well-known quote attributed to a prime minister of England that, if my child was 18 and conservative, I'd call him heartless. But if he were 50 and not conservative, I'd call him brainless. And the notion there is you kind of see the pragmatism of life and what and how things are done. And I've certainly moved that way, but where I'm going with this is there's been a lot of like sort of radicalization of liberal ideals. You would say for example, um, the treatment of Israel by the far left as imperial colonists, is one of these. Um, and there's been action, in the current administration to try to shake this out of universities. That's what they're trying to get at, whether the right direction or not. A lot of these like kind of liberal ideals have kind of gone too far. Um, this all kind of began in the late 80s, early 90s, where it was the beginning of affirmative action. And Peter Thiel came to campus in the late 80s and created the Stanford Review to speak out against this, speak out against the attempted changes against the Western civilization track at Stanford. Uh, that was There was pressure to overhaul that, and it really was a reflection. It was like a warm up or a dress rehearsal. What came, just over the last 5 to 10 years was like a radical changes in things that we have, went through there. That's where I first met Peter. Reid Hoffman was there, Keith Verbois, and many other, David Sachs, and many others.